Good evening. It's Monday evening, and here we are once again, the two of us. Zola, please join me.
I certainly will.
This evening, this Monday evening,
Yes.
I'm drinking, what am I drinking? Ginger beer.
Okay. And
Ginger beer. It's not beer at all.
I'm having a Welch's juice.
Welch's juice? Good for you.
That's good.
So
some liberation and enjoying us. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Join in with us.
Hydration. This evening, I'll tell whoever's involved in this, what this is about. It has to do with the frequent question I've had of people saying, what do you write about and why do you write about that? Well, it seemed like it would be a simple question to answer. What I write about, mainly about me, but also and why. And the reason I could come up with, I don't mean to be glib or anything, but it seems like everything I can think about writing about has almost filtered through me so that I can look at it. Well, let me be more explicit by way of example. Here's a book I wrote called Matador Negro, Azucar. Pretty thick book. It's about 700 pages. But I became interested in, as a result of going to a documentary to see the life of a bullfighter, Spanish bullfighter named Manolete. I became interested in bullfighting. Not in a way that was so intense that I had to go to Spain to see the bullfights. I had to go to Mexico to see bullfights. But growing up in Chicago, which does not have a lot of bulls running around, I had to do a lot of research and find out as much as I could about it before I started writing about it, because I was determined to write about it.
Right.
But I wanted to use the bullfight as a, what do you call it,
catalyst or something?
not as a, the word will come to me. It's like when you are talking about one thing, but it's indicative of something else.
Analogy of some sort, like an analogy of
Analogy, exactly, that's the word. Hey, that's pretty good. I was, the analogy in my mind was that the bullfighter was like an African American, and that he is someone who is fighting a bull. In this case, let's call it a white bull.
a white bull, okay.
And the white bull had pretty hard, pretty stiff horns, and for quite a long while during the course of this bullfight, the black bullfighter got knocked down a bit. Matter of fact, he got knocked down almost many times you can get up again.
Wow, goodness.
But he never gave up, and he never gives up. So the analogy, thank you for that. The analogy is a person who's willing to follow his dreams,
Right.
and never give up, no matter how many times you receive the coronada, the horn, you get up and you keep on moving. So it took me into other areas that had to do with social norms. And in some societies, many societies have different kinds of norms. For example, you might want to go to a Japanese home, or Japanese or a Chinese home, or maybe a Cambodian home. People take their shoes off at the door. Okay, that's the norm.
That's interesting you say that, because I know sometimes we've had people come to the door and ask should they take their shoes off.
Yeah.
Which I think is very, and I totally appreciate that at times, that, they're concerned about our social norms within our home.
Our Cambodian friends next door, the first time he came here, and he took his door, I don't think he asked, he just took his shoes off at the door. Because that's what they do normally.
Well, yeah, it's so funny, and it's so important to talk about now that we're approaching the holidays, when people will be visiting other people and maybe people of other cultures. And it's important to know what to do and what not to do.
It's healthy.
It's healthy.
It's healthy,
Yes,
You know, I think probably one of the worst things that you can have happen to you is to be in a social situation where you have no, not disrespect, but where you have no knowledge of the norms. I was thinking of a situation where I went to a home where people were very religious. I didn't know. I think I've talked about it. I went to dinner with a friend of mine who was taking me to dinner with him to talk to this lady he had met, and he wanted to use me as his backup, as his buddy. And we got there, and the food was served, and I started eating. Well, I saw somebody, me and my friend started eating, and the lady at the head of the table looked at us so disapprovingly. I put my knife and fork down because you know how that look.
I do know the look.
Ooh.
I do know the look.
I didn't know what to say, and Herb didn't know what to say. And the lady said, would either one of you all like to say the blessings? We were guests. And it was one of the houses where when a guest came, the guest offered an offering. Well, you come from that religious background. A blessing.
Blessing, definitely.
You know, what did I say? One of the shortest blessings I ever heard, Jesus wept. And that didn't go over very well because they knew I was trying to get away from what they were talking about and get back to the chicken.
Right.
Herb went even farther than mine by saying something like, yes, Jesus did weep.
No.
Oh, it was...
Misquote.
we got about 6 people around the table.
I know usually there's at least 6 people at a dinner table.
Oh, man. Well, they decided they were going to show us what real religious people did. So the guy here, on this side, just went on a religious tirade by the time.
God is patient. More patient than we at times.
What's your favorite saying?
Thank God I'm not God.
Thank God I'm not God. And when he got through, we went to the next one. And by this time, I forget the food was smelling good. If the aroma died, stuff got cold. But it did something to me. These were incidentally African Americans.
Well, I can appreciate that because the first time I came after Mother got married to Dr. Mosley, and we were at a table. I think it was Thanksgiving dinner. And Mother was quick in telling me, you know, I knew the place settings, where the fork was supposed to be, the knife, the spoon. If there's more than one fork or knife, which way it's supposed to look. But I did not realize that you serve food from the left and take it from the right or something to that effect. And I didn't know that you were not supposed to take food from the platter if somebody was also taking food from the platter. And people have been talking, and all of a sudden there was like silence. And I was like, oops, I must be doing something wrong.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
And so Mommy was kind enough to say, wait till she gets hers, then you can get some too, and you'd serve to you.
Okay, since we're going into this in a kind of ethnic way.
Or it might be served at the right and taken off from the left. I don't remember. One of the ways.
One of the ways.
One of those ways.
The thing that occurred to me that happened not too very long ago in having a pleasant afternoon with a friend is that I realized that this particular person had no cultural norm chops, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how he had been raised. I have no idea. I'm sure his people were good, honest, decent people and all that. But for some funny reason, it appeared that his idea of having a good time in a black home was just to throw everything off. You know, just take your shoes off and put your feet in the chair and go look in the ice box. You know, I'm sorry, the refrigerator. If you at one point, after he disappeared for a few minutes, I thought maybe he had gone into our bedroom and was taking a nap or something. And I didn't know what to do about it. You know, as you recall, we had another buddy here, another friend, who was about our age, and it struck me that he was more into the African American norms coming from a specific place. As you know, I come from low down underneath. We weren't a class. When they talk about upper class, lower class, middle class, we were so low down, we didn't have no class. But we had a lot of morality going on. You had a lot of norms. You didn't go into somebody's house without knocking on the door, even if the door was wide open. You didn't go into somebody's house and hug and kiss on somebody else's wife, even though they were friends. I know people who knew each other for years, and he had never put his arms around this other man's wife, and vice versa. They just didn't do that. Okay, maybe that's extreme, but as I look back on it, it what kept certain kinds of things human. And I'm dating what I'm talking about all the way back to slavery times in the United States, when all norms could have been broken. All norms could have been broken. A lot of people know, I'm sure they do know, that a lot of African American parents literally whipped their children as I was growing up in my age group. I mean, they whipped them because their forefathers and mothers had been whipped, and they considered themselves the masters, not just the masters, but they were the mother and the father. So they had, what's this old saying? I brought you in the world.
I'll take you out.
And I'll take you out. And they really meant that.
Oh yeah. In fact, I do, totally recall the beatings. Okay, because that's what some of them was really beatings, not just whipping. First you got the lecture.
Beatings.
The beatings.
The beatings.
The beatings. And
yes, I do remember the beatings.
I'm not going to do it no more. I'm not going to do it no more. And, or go out and get a switch, and you better get a good switch. A strong switch.
Oh, wasn't that Arab?
Or if you did something with your hands, hold out your hands, you get your hands slapped with the switch until, while you were being lectured. While you were being lectured. It's not bad enough. You're going to beat me down in my head, and then you're going to beat my body too. Okay.
But what that shows you, that might be considered
child abuse.
Child abuse, yeah. But at the same time, that very same person, the society you live in, would say to you, that's child abuse, but at the same time, it'll shoot your son in the back.
That's what I was going to say, that I can't whip my child or spank my child, but the police can kill him.
You can blow his head off, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, these norms that we're talking about that may have, you can trace a lot of them to slavery times. I mean, the idea that a person finally is able to say, I own a little something. So that means that you shouldn't trample on it. I mean, you shouldn't. If I have my table set up in a certain way, you shouldn't come in here and change things around without my permission. I mean, I could tell you about stories of people who had bitter arguments because somebody came into their house and used a telephone without permission.
Right. Well, in fact,
I'm talking about the landline.
In fact, my brother back east, one of his girlfriends, mother's very open and friendly, as you know, my mother, and Mother Jewel. And Herb came in with the girlfriend, and Mom said, make yourself at home. And so they happened to be in the front room, which we hardly ever sat in.
I bet you had plastic on this.
We had plastic on that French provincial furniture, the black marble fireplace, the plush carpet, the, there's exquisite knickknacks in the front room. As I said, we hardly ever sat there. And so the girl plopped down on the couch and took off her shoes and propped them up on the coffee table.
No, she didn't do that.
At Queen Jewel's house. And I know her must have nearly died.
Oh my God, crawled under the table.
Right, because, we didn't prop her feet up on like that. But she was, she wasn't conscious. Mom had said, make yourself comfortable. And she took it literally. So,
But see, that's in my mind.
you know, and that's why I say, oh, and I want to thank you here publicly because it's something that I do that I'm not aware it came from. Like I often say, yes, please. And I don't know where that came from, but I know you said they do that in Ghana. And also that and with Asian people, or even with other people, I tend to bow a little bit.
Okay.
But you caught me to don't bow too far. If you do a nod, if you're
I'm sure of it.
But yeah.
I could bring two things to your notice.
Mm-hmm.
I asked our good friend in Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
Susan Amagashi, about that yes please thing.
Mm-hmm.
The English had taken them so far, the servant people,
Mm-hmm.
they had taken them so far, they were saying no please. Yes please and no please.
Oh my goodness.
Because they wanted to hear them sound so subservient
Okay.
that they said please
Mm-hmm.
or thank you boss or
And
whatever.
and I don't know where I got it from, but I know I've done it all my life.
Well, it came from somewhere, and you had to get it from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of something that happened recently about the cell phone thing, which we are still the technology is still so new. I know it's pretty old, but it's so new in cultural terms that really nobody seems to have a fix on how it is that etiquette is supposed to be observed, that norm. For example, we go to a restaurant with a friend, and the waiter's standing there taking the order. The friend gets a call and starts going into a long, drawn-out business conversation, whatever it is, while the waiter's standing there waiting for him to take his order.
Right.
Finally, when it's not fair to make the waiter stand there and wait for you to finish your business. Finally, he orders what he wants to order. And we're sitting there having a conversation, and he pulls out his phone. In the readings that I've done, this psychologists explain that in the United States today, the average person who owns a cell phone is about between 15 and 18 minutes away from picking up his or her phone all day long.
Okay.
So they wind up checking their phone, whether you are expecting a message or whether you want to, it's the icons, according to the information that psychologists say, is that the icons alone have exercised a certain kind of control over your head, so you have to check and see them. I've seen babies do this in the supermarket. They're just sitting there staring at their cell phones. Okay, when it gets to the point where you're having an intimate dinner, you and two other people, whether it be in a restaurant or at home, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
And the phone rings,
Right.
and the person who's has cell phoneitis, the person who's addicted, feels obligated to answer the telephone. And in some cases, they're so used to doing that, they don't even say, well, excuse me, I got a call.
Right.
Or, excuse me, I need to go in here and talk to these people. They just sit there and talk.
Right.
That offends me. I feel like if I've opened up my hospitality to you, and that means whether we're out or in, then you should at least be more attentive to me than somebody talking to you unless it's an emergency.
Well, even so, you can either hit call back, like I know one of our older friends, he gets sometimes calls while we're doing Tai Chi, and I guess he has some certain ones that have rings, like maybe if his daughter's called.
Who's doing this?
Like Alfred.
Okay, yeah.
He'll get a call. And I guess he's got certain rings, like I guess if it's his daughter, he knows it's important to answer. Otherwise, he ignores and let it goes to voicemail, And some people, they can just hit a button and say, I'll call you back.
Yeah.
And so that you don't have to get on the phone and talk to the person. Or just, I think, especially now that we're coming up to the holidays, that if you're going to the person's home and you plan to be there from 3 to 4, you just either put your phone off so they can go to messages, or you tell people, I'll be busy from this hour to this hour, so don't call me. I'll call you after I'm done.
Okay, well, see, this is what makes me point my finger at what it is we're talking about. because it seems that the etiquette has not been firmly established
Right.
for anybody to know what or when to do that. It seems to me, anytime that you have a social exchange with another person whose personality is interesting enough to you, or what they're saying is interesting enough to you, or you are interested enough in each other.
Right, you've had an agreement that we'll get together between these hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It just seems, I don't know if it's considered lack of consideration or selfishness or something. I have to talk on my cell phone. It's my cell phone. I have to talk whenever the phone rings. I have to do that. I think it's compulsion. Aside from just simply being crude and polite, it's uncouth. But since there's no, I would like to do, concerning books, I would like to do a little book on when, who, what, when, where, and how to use the cell phone.
You did a thing on one time, a thing on phone etiquette.
I did. Oh, yes, yeah, what am I talking about?
Okay, right, I thought you did. Yeah,
Yeah,
because a lot of times people call and they say, may I speak to so-and-so?
No, they say, let me speak to Zola.
Right, yeah.
So wait a minute. Who's calling? Let me speak to Zola. Well, no, who are you? Oh, this is, none of your friends would do that, so I can't name any name.
Right.
Okay. I would not name any name. I'm talking about total strangers.
Right, total strangers.
The guy says, I'm calling from New York insurance company, and you have a name? Yeah, the name is, what's my name? You got to look at the sheet in front of you.
Right. Well, that's one reason why, sometimes we, like for my cell phone, if the number is not in the phone, I don't answer it.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's more than like it's a scam, somebody wanting some money, obviously somebody I don't know. Okay? So why are you calling me?
Well,
call somebody else.
It has to be determined. But we started off this about the book and about with the book, it was really good because the Matador, he knew a cultural norm. Okay, this is the guy from Chicago, black guy from Chicago.
That is why he was so determined to go to Mexico and jump into the bullfight. Because he knew that particular nuance to the bullfighting that would allow him either to be arrested or become a bullfighter.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So he had done his research enough about that cultural nuance that he had a chance, he realized he might have a true chance to become a bullfighter. Yeah.
That happened in a number of cases. I can think about a girlfriend of mine in Chicago who was a dancer. And she decided she was interested in African dancing and so forth. And she said at one point, I think she went to Nigeria. She said, I'm going to Africa to get into African dance because I don't get the feeling that we're doing the authentic thing here.
Oh, okay.
I said, well, what makes you think that?
Okay.
She said, well, we rehearse and, it seems like people are just simply doing too much. It's too much like, what do you call it when these women just do shimmy shammy and burlesque and
just getting on up and doing your thing.
Getting on up.
Right.
Okay, they dance to the rhythms and all that. But she said, I don't.
It's not the.
Yeah.
Right. You don't know. Yeah. Right.
But she said, I don't get the feeling that there's anything authentic about it. It's just simply they're doing what they saw somebody do in the video.
She has a gut feeling that there's more.
So she left and married a Nigerian guy and I guess lived happily ever after. Then when she came back and she said, we asked, well, what happened? She said, I was right. When I got there, there was not a whole lot of the kind of thing we do here. The gestures were much more subtle. You couldn't just be flinging your arms around and doing something.
Well, Malcolm X.
Oh.
When he went to Mecca.
And found out he couldn't pray because he didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, that's a wonderful example.
Right.
Wonderful example.
But real quick, I would like to go through some of them, the cultural norms that I pulled up. Okay.
Oh yeah, you've got a new sheet here.
Yeah. Yes, examples of cultural norms. And the first one was the greetings. which made me think about when you went to, as a teenager, you went to somebody's house, and the grandmother was over in a room, and your high school friend didn't bother to introduce you.
Mm.
He didn't say anything to the grandmother coming in and out of the house,
Mm-hmm.
which is something that would normally be done in our black culture and many other cultures. If there's an elder there, you greet the elder,
Mm.
you know, and introduce the elder to your friends.
Yeah.
And you said that he didn't, you know, you asked who the old lady was, and he said, oh, that's my grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you know, some incident in high school, you were saying. And, you know, I find it interesting. This is an old comment because it says a handshake. In the U.S., a handshake is common. Well, it seems like the fist bump has become more common than the handshake.
Okay, that COVID
And
did that.
COVID did that. Okay, so certain the things morph a little bit. Well, I guess still in Japan it's still the bowing.
Yeah.
But then, of course,
And Korea and
okay, but there's certain way to bow. We in the West just like go like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like there's a older Korean lady that bows really deep to me, and I appreciate it, but I'm a little bit
well, she thinks
concerned.
that you think you're a recreational Buddha.
Right, yeah, right. So yeah,
She thinks you're a recreational
Buddha.
Buddha.
Okay,
You
thank
could
you.
be
Okay.
Miss Buddha.
I hear you. I really care for her, true. And what is it? Oh, and then in France, that always tripped me out when I was first as a child, when I saw a man kiss another man on the cheek.
Mm.
And it was in France, and I was like, what's that? And I saw the women kissing each other on the cheek. I was like, what's that?
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't realize in France there's a kiss. And I guess
Okay, they do that in some other places. I was a little bit disturbed when I first saw Brazilians do that from
Oh, really?
some a certain class.
okay.
You know, on each cheek, and I mean amongst the women. Men do it with women.
Mm-hmm.
Women do it with other women, but it's
Men
not
don't
just
do
the
it.
women.
Okay, right.
Depending on caste and class.
Okay.
We got some interesting points here. Can I
Please,
go through?
go on, yeah.
Handshake, the personal. Okay, this thing about the dining etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go to personal space. It's considered a comfortable distance for interactions. In some cultures, standing closer than usual, normal. On others, significant personal space is expected.
Mm-hmm.
I think the COVID did something to us here. We
Oh, yeah.
stood close to each other before COVID.
Oh, that's true.
You could get in line at the bank or at the supermarket and have people
Person
crowd
right
up
about
against
that,
you.
right, yeah. Okay,
You know,
right.
what you bought? What? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So now that happened.
Uh-huh.
We can look at dining etiquette. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Belching might seem as crude in Western culture, but acceptable in others. While the practice of tipping for service is expected in the U.S., but not in many European
And I
countries.
can never understand how you guys could do that, but
Okay, going right along. When you think about gender roles, this is one that is becoming a little bit more and more crazy all the time. Traditional concepts defining femininity and masculinity and expectation for men and women remain a part of cultural norms to some degree.
to some degree.
But nobody that I know of really expect a woman to be unable to open the door of her car anyway. If you happen to be, most men, me included, if you happen to be standing at the door first,
Right.
you open the door. But I wouldn't come all the way around the car to open the door because you would be standing there waiting for me to open the door.
Right. I know.
You'd be waiting a long time while the guy behind the wheels, get in. Matter of fact, as you go down the scale toward the younger,
Right.
I mean, this is real undecided about
Right.
who's supposed to do what. Let's get into this from religious practices.
Mm-hmm.
Some cultures, religions within the culture have specific restrictions like dietary laws, kosher in Judaism, or prohibitions against certain activities.
Right. Okay.
Okay, now as it relates to the book, I keep going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
If the guy had not gone to Mexico, or if he had not later on gone to Spain, he would not have known or appreciated what it was that the bullfight fan, the aficionado, or they call all the people who like bullfighting, l'afición, he would not have known that these people want to see the bull killed quickly without a whole lot of mess.
Right.
They want him to know the bull's anatomy well enough to know that when he goes in over the horns
Right.
to slice the heart muscle, the aorta, the bull will hemorrhage quickly and die quickly. It's considered bad form to stab a bull and make it stumble around.
A good killing as opposed to a bad killing.
Okay, a lot of people here, of course, would say it's just bad form. Stick a sword in the bull anyway. But then
the bull's got horns, in my point of view.
other places, other things. Listen, we've had a
Oh, okay. Well, one other thing. Okay, social etiquette. Okay, talking loudly in public, and also the dress. Here in California, we don't worry so much about dress. I was always fascinated, or still am, when I see a tuxedo and tennis shoes.
Oh,
But it makes sense because men's feet tend to hurt, and so wear the tennis shoes as opposed to the what is that,
Brogans.
Brogans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, right. Don't hurt the feet.
Yeah.
And finally, punctuality. Now, which I always loved about Mommy, when she was going to an event, she said that the black man invented the watch, the clock, and the white man has kept us running on time since.
Wow.
Okay, so her thing, dear mother, was when I get there, it's the right time. Okay, which she didn't always follow because she was a teacher and she tended to get.
Well, you know what? That may have an African origin because.
Oh, you were saying that, yes.
When I lived in Ghana from '92 to '95, I had the opportunity to become involved with a television show called Bediako, and I found out that what they call, some people have called CP time here, may have started long before we got here, because if we were scheduled to have a shoot for a scene, let's say at 8 o'clock in the morning, some people might not get there till 10. So in addition to that, as the lady who had found a solution for this thing, she used to give parties. I think she was well-to-do or something. She lived on the first floor of the building I lived on. She wanted to give some sort of little to-do, and she would invite people to come at 7 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
The party was scheduled for 10.
Whoa. But she went in
And she would tell them that it was starting.
at 7.
Be sure and be here between 7 and 7:30 because the service is going to serve food at 7:30.
Oh, okay. But the real party didn't begin until 10.
10 o'clock.
Yes.
She says, that's, you don't know Ghana. This is
Right.
They don't have the kind of clocks you have there.
Right.
So
But that's, that's important to understand.
there's a
And,
cultural norm.
But one of the things I do like, that the Western world, when you have a meeting, you walk into the meeting, hello, shake hands, you may get the coffee, you may get the tea, and then the next thing is like, well, we're here to cover these points, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
While I think you're saying, like in Ghana and what have you, sit down, how's your family?
Yeah,
Okay, you
yeah.
have this conversation that you are important, and what you're about is more than the business we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
And then you bring up the business.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that we're there for the business of the business, but it doesn't keep you from knowing, how's your wife?
Right. Yeah.
She had a cold. You have 3 children now. What is the youngest one's name?
Right.
Blah, 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 blah.
And people who have been brought up in a strictly Western culture, like, aren't we here for a meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought it starts at 3 o'clock. Aren't we going to be out by 3:30? No, we may be out by 6:30.
in the film thing I was involved with, the television show, they had nicknamed me the German, and I didn't get hip to it. I didn't get hip to it for a while because if the shoot was due to start at 8 o'clock, let's say in the morning,
When the sun is
I would
up.
get there at 6.
When the sun is up.
When the sun is going to be at its peak at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Under the equatorial sun, it's hot. I would say, let's do it around about 8 while there's still some dew on the grass, it's still cool, and I would get there at 6:30, and sit up and drink my tea and wait, and people would gradually come in. And around about 9:30, we would have the whole set there, and they would be ready to go. When they got there, they were ready to go, but I couldn't ever. Anyway, when we got to talk about it, one of my friends, Akuzo Abdallah, said to me one day, "You know they call you the German." I said, what does that mean? You know. No. Big punctual. Because, you know. Okay, everybody, I got it from watching the movies.
Right.
You know, the directors, okay, let's see it. I was doing
All
stuff.
quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set. Just between me, I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay, but
at first.
You figured it out.
I figured it out.
Right.
But,
and that's, I think, part of what, you know, nobody's born with a manual on how they're supposed to behave, what have you, but it is important to learn and appreciate
different norms.
Different cultural norms. And even, it's interesting with young people today, because they're usually raised, a lot of times they're raised by other young people, their mothers or young, what have you. And so they don't get the training that you and I got growing up. You know,
what did I tell you to do?
Right.
The training I got.
The training, right, you got. And likewise, where you end up talking to people, making sure that you introduce yourself to the people in the home when you visit, making sure whether or not you should take your shoes off or keep them on, and to maintain your space.
I don't know any black home that you would go to and take your shoes off.
Right. Okay. Well, also,
especially if you didn't have the socks on.
Okay. Also, was it one of your relationships in the past? You were visiting a relative, and she just happened to lean back on the table.
Oh, well, she stood up. She was
not meaning to do anything wrong.
Okay, this is the dining room table. And we were having conversation. Everybody had a little drink, and she just happened to lean her butt up against the table, and the person whose house it was pulled me over to the side and said, "You have to take her out of here." And what happened? She just sat on our table. We eat on the table.
And it was nothing that she did not mean to offend. She did not mean to offend anybody. But it was that she was not aware.
Well, they understand that she should have known better. Everybody knows better than that. Look, I was trying to get us out of here.
Yes, okay, because cultural norm also says we should finish this.
We should finish it on time.
Well, anyway, I hope that...
The book is called...
Matador
Negro.
Azucar II, okay? Odie Hawkins' website is www.odiehawkins.com, and that is O-D, not Adi. And as the year wraps up and you visit people's homes, family and or friends or strangers, be aware of cultural norms.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Said with love. Bye for now.
Yes.